What is the future of work, especially as it relates to AI? What am I going to be busy with in the coming years? This is a question that a lot of people are asking, no matter what your profession. Is AI going to be doing this? And what does that mean for me? What does it mean in general for human creativity, for human endeavors? And for me in particular, what does it mean for my life pursuits, or all these things that I thought defined me as a person, my job, my career? What does that mean now that maybe AI could do that? So we're going to be bringing an essay that was first published from my teacher, Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburg, in the 1990s. It was published first as a pamphlet, and then later put on his website, inner.org, INNER.org. And it's called The Dynamic Corporation. So as is often the case with Rabbi Ginsburg, he brings the timeless wisdom, timeless divine wisdom of the Torah, and he relates it to something in the modern world. So in this essay, he relates the Torah to the world of business. But the world of business is a sort of a placeholder, a metaphor, meaning that you could replace it with anything. And as times change, a lot has changed since the 1990s. We can make use of those timeless Torah principles, these teachings from the Bible, and relate it to our times. It almost seems like a new generation that we're living in now. Why is that? Because in the 1990s, you could still turn heads by saying, well, how do you run a successful business? What is Kabbalah? What does the ancient teachings of Jewish mysticism have to say about running a business? But in our times, that's no longer so much the question. Why is it no longer so much the question? Because if you really want to make money, well, you can let AI do that for you if you really learn the tools of AI. So, whereas in the past it was, how do you create a successful organizational structure? How do you properly train employees? How do you have proper quality control, proper management? Like the tools of an entrepreneur, the classic tools of an entrepreneur. And maybe you have some timeless wisdom of the Torah that can inform how to run a successful business, how to create a successful organizational structure, one that's in accordance with some divine timeless principles of the Torah. But today, what's the question? It's a different question. And in part, it's because we're redefining this word success or endeavor or life pursuit. And one of the great catalysts that's doing this is AI. So you're saying, maybe I don't need to follow those classical models anymore. Maybe AI, I can just learn AI and that could help me to make money. And that's, in many ways, true. But it doesn't mean that I'm successful or that I know anymore what is it to be a human that is utilizing my creativity, that's pursuing my life purpose and mission. You see, the soul came down here for a reason. And it's very important to be able to pay your bills, to support a family. It's a very good thing. But that doesn't define me as a person. There's a difference between being able to give tzedakah, let's say, make enough money to give charity. That's a very good thing. But maybe that's not, or maybe it is. Maybe that's part of my life pursuit, and maybe not so much. Maybe it's enough that I just make enough, but then I pursue my passions. That I really explore what it means to be creative as a human. And then, in turn, to allow that creativity, allow those teachings, allow those ideas to then benefit others. So the dynamic corporation was something that was a very compelling idea in the 90s, not so much today. We could say today, maybe we would say what it means to cooperate dynamically, or dynamic cooperation. Why? Because we're redefining everything. Those classic models of starting a business, of organizational structure, of entrepreneurs, it doesn't so much apply. To some extent it does, but in some ways it doesn't. And if you look at what the leading proponents of AI are saying, you can group it to very similar things. That we're going to have to learn how to be more creative. Or as one person recently said, you're going to have to learn how to learn throughout your life. What does it mean to learn how to learn? So you take a very basic thing. You take this word success. What does it mean to be successful? And you have to redefine it day after day after day. And to approach this with creativity and childlike wonder, like you're looking at it for the first time, this word success. So what does it mean to be successful? Does it mean to make a lot of money? Maybe that's a good idea, or maybe not. Maybe what it means successful to you is to teach, or to know how to cheer people up, to say things that are creative and innovative, or just to bring a smile on a lot of people's face, or one person at a time. Maybe it's measured by interactions. So in this series, we've been speaking about a vendor, a card game vendor, who became very popular in social media because he was giving stuff away. And initially, it seems like it started out of the goodness of his heart, and then it kind of just spiraled. And now he has over 1 million followers on YouTube, close to 2 million followers on other social media channels. And initially, it seems as if it started just from him wanting to do an act of kindness. Actually, the initial story was a kid that came to him, and this kid had just bought a card above market value at another vendor. And then this kid, out of money, goes to him and he says, I like that card. He said, but the kid said, I'm out of money. After all, he just spent above market value on this card at another vendor's booth. So they're at this convention, and this kid comes to him. First, he tells him the news that he paid above market value, and then this kid, out of money, says that he likes this other card, this other expensive card. I don't know exactly how much this card was, but this vendor says, "You know what, kid? Here you go. I can have it for free." Yes. And that was the start of this vendor gaining likes and subscribers. He had been working for 5 years just to get to 1,000 subscribers. But after that moment, after giving that kid and then being kind and generous to other kids, he started getting tens and thousands of subscribers, to the point where he just celebrated over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and then, like I mentioned, close to 2 million subscribers on other social media channels. And now it's a thing. You see this amongst others, that they know by now that if you give stuff away, especially to kids, but to others as well, this is a surefire way to get new subscribers. But he did this. His initial act, it would seem, was as a result of just wanting to do an act of kindness. So when we think about commerce, about our business affairs, what is the true currency here? So this vendor realized something. That what is the true currency? He was valuing kids over cards, people over the cards he's selling, to the extent that he didn't presumably, and we can judge favorably here, he seems like a good person. It doesn't seem like he was really factoring in what is he going to get from that? What is he going to get ultimately from giving that card away? At least that initial time, that he gave that card away. But then he saw, hey, this is a great thing. You get all these subscribers and likes. It's really cool. And for sure, what has he seen since then? That the more he gives, the more cards he gives away for free, the more donations he gets. To the extent it's like, are you really a vendor? Are you really there to sell things, or are you there for the interactions? And he learned this because he now primarily what does he do? Now that people know him, he does meet and greets. And he says he prefers meet and greets. Why? Because people just want to see him. And if you're involved in commerce, you can't see as many people because you have to price things out. You have to see whether you're trading or whether they're interested in you buying their product. It takes more time. But if you have meet and greets, you can see a lot more people. And so he recently had a meet and greet. People were, from the morning, winding around the entire building just for a moment to say hi, to smile with him, take a picture with him, maybe get an autograph. So where is this all coming from? So this is just one example of a shift that's taking place. And in part because of AI, but just in general, there's an awakening. And what's changing? The changing is that we're awakening to what it really means to be human. Awakening to our creative potential, our human potential, our potential to be good and kind to other people. So like I started off with, is that in the 90s, it was interesting and compelling, maybe, pretty cool to think of what Kabbalah, what Jewish mysticism, what the timeless wisdom of the Torah, of divine wisdom has to say about running a business. But today, we want to know what's behind all of these interactions. Why is it that people are leaving their world of commerce and vending and realizing that the true currency, the true value is those interactions themselves, right? To value the cards over the kids over the cards. He was there to sell stuff, presumably, as a vendor. It's not such a great idea as a vendor to give away stuff all the time. But more and more, what does he see? The more he gives away, the more donations he gets, and the more views, and the more subscribers. It has a cascading effect. And ultimately, you're bringing about that more people are seeing this, and you're promoting the goodness of humanity and the importance of doing good and revealing more good to the world. So there's three aspects that were discussed in this initial pamphlet. The first is involvement, quality, and flow. So the involvement is that basically you're showing up, you're engaged. So you have to be engaged in this world of commerce. The quality, that's the real distinction that's being made. Are you valuing these cardboard cards? Or are you valuing the people, the interactions, the people that are coming to you? So this more and more is becoming so apparent that it's okay to have an excuse for getting together, have a product to sell, be engaged in some type of a commerce. But it's very, very clear that what's of the value, what's of the quality, is not the cardboard, but those interactions. And then you have to have flow. So it would be something if he was if he was giving away cards. But what really makes this notable is the flow, the response, how the market is responding, both online, both with the donations and the subscribers, but also in person. When he does these meet and greets, for instance, like he just finished one, and you have people winding around for hours, just winding around the building just to see him, just to take a picture with him. Why is that important? Because that's a verification that what he's doing is being acknowledged and accepted by the market, by the world. Right? So previously this was a business that sells a lot of products. Your product is accepted in the market. So today, what is that? What is that? Your action is accepted in the market. Your good deed is being accepted, is being well received in the marketplace, in the marketplace of public opinion. And you're being rewarded as a result of that initial interaction between that kid that was had paid higher than market price at another vendor, and then this vendor gave away a card to him, and then subsequent videos where he gave away cards to kids because just trying to be kind, and maybe he's seeing the results, which is okay also, because as long as you're a good person, it's okay. It's not okay if you're just cheating the system. But we're judging favorably and saying that this person seems to be a good-hearted person, just wants to do good, so that he should be rewarded. He should be monetized on YouTube and other social media channels, because good people should be rewarded with good, like the blessing to Abraham. Those who bless you are blessed. Those who are trying to bring about goodness in the world, something that we learned from Abraham, revealing the knowledge of God. What is God in English? God is good. Revealing goodness in the world. So those who are good people should indeed be blessed with good, revealed and apparent good, even down to material blessing. There's nothing wrong with that. So what we see is that ultimately his goodness was rewarded. And that's a very good lesson. It's a very good lesson. It's one that is beyond whatever product you're selling. No matter how cool and how whatever, it doesn't matter. The product is just a placeholder here. You could be selling, little trinkets, and could still be getting millions of views on YouTube. And there's a lot of videos like that people are just giving away money. They're doing acts of kindness, no matter what it is, no matter what the situation is, no matter what. It's just the people are doing acts of kindness, and people are like that. They connect with that because it's an example of the goodness of humanity. It's an example of one person interacting with another, and it's showing that people are good, and ultimately this benefits a third person and a fourth person, and it cascades throughout the world. Like this recent meet and greet with this vendor. They fundraised for a children's hospital, and a lot of people donated cards for children as well. So that's another good example of the redefining of what it means to be successful, and redefining what it means to be engaged in commerce. What's the currency? What are we involving ourselves with? This is people, and also teaching opportunities to teach about doing good acts of kindness, to teach about the goodness of humanity. Like Maimonides says at the end of his laws of Mashiach, the Jewish Messiah, and the redemption, that what will be the occupation of the world? The occupation will be to know God. What does it mean to know God? Well, it starts by doing acts of kindness, like goodness and kindness. Like we said, especially in English, also in German, God is good. So the more good we do, ultimately the idea is to source this, to teach people that this is coming from a belief in God, from faith in God. Because we believe that everyone is created in the image of God. Everyone has a soul. And everyone has the potential to do good. Now there's also evil. So to know to also fight against evil. But that's not where people that are coming to these card conventions to see this person, we're not saying these are people that are trying to connect to the goodness of humanity. So this is a very good example of people that are started collecting this hobby just so they could have what to talk about and have what to do when they meet this vendor. So, but again, it could be anything. It could be selling anything. So what's changed? Not yet that we're not involved in commerce, but that we're seeing that the main currency, the commerce is just an excuse. The main currency is the people, the interactions that we meet. Okay, so I think that's good for today, and hopefully we'll continue this. It's a very very important topic, one that is it's to be a businessman, to have money means ultimately that you are inspiring others to give, to be generous, to be kind, to use their resources also to help others, both in terms of donating, in terms of physical donations, also time and energy, and to realize that the world is awakening to this. That's why the dynamic corporation was something that is for the 90s, but we're continuously faster and faster redefining what it means, what human endeavor means, what it means to be successful. And this is a very good example of that. Because it's not about the cardboard, the cards. I think people realize that. It's about what ideas and thoughts are. It's about the formation of a community that's built on kindness and generosity. What are people saying about this vendor? He's uplifting an entire community. How wonderful is this community? How generous is this community? How kind is this community? How family-oriented and kid-oriented is this community? Right? If you're taking your kid somewhere, you want to know that they're going to be treated well. Not only that, but these kids, they make him art, they draw things for him, they give him things. It's teaching very valuable lessons about generosity, about kindness. So that's timeless. That's something that is going to far outlast any game in any particular. Those are lessons that are going to last them their entire life. It's creating a legacy of kindness and goodness. All right. So the homework assignment is to know how to do that, to manifest that in our lives. Especially today that we're doing this class is the 25th of the month of Elul. This is the day on which the world was created. What better day to connect to the kindness, the chesed, the loving kindness from which this world was created. It says that the world was created, that God created the world with a preponderance of loving kindness. And so it's our job to reveal that, especially on such an auspicious day as today. Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, which we're going to celebrate next Monday night, we celebrate the creation of man and later Eve, first Adam and then Eve. But today is the day in which the world was created. Adam and Eve were created on Friday, and the sixth day of creation, and the first day of creation is obviously the first day when the world began to be created and formed, and as we go through the 6 days of creation. So may we reveal the initial intent behind all of creation. What is God's original intent behind all of creation? We said it many times. That God is good. We have to do acts of goodness and kindness to reveal that good throughout all of creation. And so we see many, many examples of this, that people are putting goodness primary to making money, right? It starts off as a joke, like how is this normal for a vendor to be giving away so much? And it's so interesting and so intriguing, and so it got a lot of subscribers and likes. But we see really what this is all about, is that in the end, this is what life is about. Life is not about making money. Life is about what goodness, what acts of goodness you do. So when he put together a video to celebrate his 1 million subscribers on YouTube, what quote did he bring? It was from a movie, that what do you take with you in your life is what you give away. What defines a life is your acts of kindness and charity and goodness. That's what life is about. And really, you don't take anything with you, but you leave a legacy. You leave those mitzvahs, those good deeds that you did, that the Torah that you learned, connecting people to God. That's what life is about.